Okay, so I've cleaned up this inside strip with a wire wheel. I've put some wax and grease remover in there to clean it all off. And as you can probably see down that channel, that's nice and clean as well. I've got all the seam sealer out of there, that's wire wheeled as well. And that's also had some wax and grease remover treatment through the channel, through this gutter mould in here. And I'm just going to be putting on some rust converter. Now it's a matter of letting that cure for about 24 hours. And then the patching go over the top of that, and that's one side of a restored roof. I'm going to go ahead now and just cut out a small section here. Now I've done this separately because there's a step that you can see in this roof line. So the major part I did up until a flat roof, so all I had to do was cut out just one big piece of flat patch, and now I can cut out a smaller patch just to suit this area here. So it's probably about that sort of length there, where it's all scaly. So that's got to be replaced as well. Now the good thing about all this is when the trims are on the car, you won't actually see any of this, but at least I'll know that it's done properly and the rust has been cut out of it. All this is a result of that bright work that was on here, trapping in water. So that's the passenger side. All the rusty bits cut out of this as well. This also had a small section in the pillar here that I've cut just the outer skin because that was all scaled up on the outside as well, which is that one there. So I'd rather catch all these things now while it's at this point than down the track when all the trims are on it. Now I'm on the passenger side here, and the only way that I can get this patch to stay in its proper place and in its right form is by the use of magnets. So I've just got magnets that are levelling off the original skin with the patch, so it's keeping it all nice and level all the way through. And they're fairly powerful magnets, especially these little guys here. So now it's just a matter of just tacking in a few spots and just very carefully going all the way through and getting that nice and level. Okay, so I've just cleaned up this front section here, and I'm just slowly working my way through this patch that I put on this passenger side. And I've got my magnets in place there, just holding that skin flush to the roof skin. This part is really critical, because if this isn't right, this is going to stand out a mile if I don't get this nice and flush through this area here. There are trims that go over this that will hide all of this area here, but you'll most likely see this top part here, so it's got to be done right. This will probably take all day to do both sides, if I get both sides done. Okay, so that's 4 hours into it, and I've just gone over this with an 80 grit flap disc to knock down these welds, and I'll go over it again now with a 120 grit flap disc to do the same, get it even closer to the skin. But that's now pretty much in place. Just got to make a small section for this rear part here, and this side of the roof is finished. So I'm just going to finish out this passenger side of the roof line here, and I've just cut out a template to replace this little piece of roof line back here. Then I'll have to finish off this little part in the rear pillar. So I've cut out my piece of paper template, and I just happen to have found a piece of scrap metal that I worked on probably a few months ago. That's going to be the right shape, it's got the right curvature for this step in the roof line here. As you can see, the step in the piece of scrap, so sometimes you get lucky, so I tend to hang on to this sort of stuff. All I've got to do now is cut it to length, and that's that part of the roof done. This is fairly easy, and then I'll move on the other side. So both patch panels have been put into the sides of the roof, and after many hours of welding and what seemed like an eternity of grinding, I've finished off the driver's side here today. I'm just in the process of knocking down the welds here, getting them all nice and flat and flush with the roof, with the roof line. The passenger side I managed to finish yesterday, and I got some body filler on there, so I was in the process of working the body filler through. There's a bit of a before and after. There's the old scaly steel. It's been ripped out, and it's now just nice solid rust-free roof panelling. So next stage after this will be to work the body filler through on both sides, put the roof back in etch primer, and move on to another part of the car.